Disclaimer: the following program is designed to offend, provoke, and challenge your religious sensibilities. It contains content that will likely offend anyone who holds religion sacred. This is for those with thick skin or a taste for the harsh truth. If you're easily offended or cherish your religious views, please turn off now. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. You have been warned. Throughout human history, myths of giants and divine hybrids have haunted our collective consciousness. From the Anunnaki of Mesopotamia to the Anakim of the Bible, and even the Anasazi of North America, these stories are scattered across continents. Are these separate legends, or are they fragments of a singular interconnected history that has been deliberately obscured? But before we begin, let's make one thing clear. This isn't just another history lesson. This is a deep dive into suppressed truth, so like, comment, and subscribe, because the giants left their mark and it's up to us to uncover it. Now let's begin. Let's start with Sumer, one of the cradles of civilization. Central to Sumerian mythology is Anu, the supreme god of the sky, who fathered the Anunnaki, a pantheon of deities described as larger than life and immensely powerful. The Anunnaki's primary role was shaping humanity, as detailed in the Atrahasis, a creation myth where divine blood was mixed with clay to create humans. Among these creations was Gilgamesh, a historical king of Uruk, who was described as 2/3 divine and 1/3 mortal, a hybrid of extraordinary strength and wisdom. Now, shift to the Bible, where a similar narrative emerges. The Anakim, described in Numbers 13:33, are giants who descended from the Nephilim, a mysterious group born from the union of the sons of God and human women. These Anakim were formidable warriors, so large and powerful that the Israelite spies reported, "We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." The Anakim weren't just myth, they were deeply embedded in the cultural memory of ancient Canaan. But the parallels don't stop there. Just as Gilgamesh ruled with an air of divine superiority, the Anakim dominated their territories with fear and awe, both groups towering, literally and metaphorically, over humanity. The question is, why do these seemingly disparate cultures describe such similar beings? Now consider the proximity of Mesopotamia and Canaan. Only about 500 miles apart. In the ancient world, this distance was negligible, as trade routes like the Fertile Crescent connected these regions, allowing not only goods but also ideas to flow freely. It's no secret that cultural borrowing was a common phenomenon. The Bible's flood narrative, for example, mirrors the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh, which is similarly the story of the Tower of Babel has striking parallels to Mesopotamian ziggurats, structures built to reach the heavens. What if the name Anak, the progenitor of the Anakim, was another borrowed concept? Phonetically, Anu and Anak sound distinct to modern ears, but linguistic evolution over millennia can easily account for such changes. The critical connection lies in their shared role as patriarchs of powerful descendants. Anu fathered the Anunnaki, Anak fathered the Anakim. Both are associated with hybrid offspring beings who existed on the boundary between divine and mortal. This overlap in mythology raises the possibility that Anak is a localized version of Anu. If the stories of Anu and the Anunnaki migrated westward with trade and migration, they could have transformed into the stories of Anak and the Anakim, tailored to fit the religious and cultural framework of the Levant. The story grows even stranger when we shift focus to North America. The Anasazi, a term used by the Navajo to mean ancient ones or ancient enemies, were a mysterious people whose culture dominated the American Southwest. According to Paiute legends, they were giants, referred to as the Cetck, who were cannibalistic and nearly impossible to defeat. These red-haired giants, the stories say, were eventually exterminated by the tribes of the region. Modern archaeology reveals even more startling evidence. At Chaco Canyon, researchers discovered 6-fingered and 6-toed handprints impressed in ritual structures. In Mesopotamian myths, the Anunnaki were described as beings larger and more imposing than humans. Similarly, the Bible describes a giant from Gath, a descendant of the Nephilim, with 6 fingers and 6 toes, 2 Samuel 21:20. Could this rare genetic anomaly be a marker of a shared lineage among giants? Even their architecture hints at something larger. So the Anasazis, kivas, circular subterranean structures, bear a striking resemblance to the concentric stone circles found in Canaan, particularly el-Hiri, the Wheel of the Giant. These similarities are unlikely to be coincidental, suggesting a connection that spans not just continents but also cultures. But what if giants didn't disappear entirely? What if the legends didn't just reflect ancient history, but events far closer to our time? Enter the story of the Kandahar Giant, one of the most chilling and mysterious tales to emerge from the War on Terror. This was interesting to me because I remembered hearing this story back during that time, and it described a red-haired giant in Afghanistan. So, here is what I could find about it. In 2002, a U.S. Special Forces unit disappeared in the remote mountains of Afghanistan. A second team was dispatched to locate them, and according to accounts from those who claimed to have been there, what they found was nothing short of terrifying. They reportedly encountered a 13-foot-tall humanoid with fiery red hair, 6 fingers on each hand, and 2 rows of teeth. The creature allegedly killed one soldier with a massive spear before the rest of the unit brought it down with sustained gunfire. The body was said to be airlifted out by helicopter, never to be seen again. Soldiers who claimed involvement in the mission say they were sworn to secrecy, and the U.S. Department of Defense denies the incident ever happened, but the details match eerily with descriptions of giants from myth and legend. Red hair, 6 fingers, immense size. Could the Kandahar Giant be a surviving relic of the Anakim, the Anunnaki, or even the Anasazi? We'll probably never know. The official story is silence. The unofficial story? It's one more piece of a puzzle that spans centuries and continents. If giants once roamed the earth, maybe they never left. Maybe they're just waiting to be rediscovered. All right, let's get back to our parallels. I just thought it was interesting enough to at least mention. Ritualistic violence appears to be another unifying trait. Biblical texts and historical accounts describe the Anakim as engaging in human sacrifice. Archaeological evidence from Canaanite colonies, including Carthage, confirms these practices with findings of child sacrifice and ceremonial killings. Similarly, the Anasazi left behind evidence of cannibalism, including cut marks on bones and human tissue in coprolites. Petroglyphs depict horned humanoid figures holding decapitated heads, further underscoring their violent rituals. In both cases, these rituals were likely not just acts of violence, but symbolic gestures tied to power, dominance, and perhaps even appeasement of celestial beings. Were these practices remnants of the giants' hybrid lineage, reflecting their divine but corrupted heritage? From Sumer to Canaan and even to North America, the evidence suggests a shared legacy of giants. The Anunnaki created hybrid beings like Gilgamesh, the Anakim ruled Canaan with terror, the Anasazi left behind cryptic ruins and genetic markers. Could these stories be fragments of a global phenomenon, a forgotten chapter of human history? And here's the real question. Why are these connections suppressed? Why did giant skeletons vanish from museums without explanation? Why are ancient sites like el-Hiri and Chaco Canyon shrouded in silence, their secrets buried under layers of bureaucracy and inconvenient history? Is it a coincidence that so many ancient accounts of giants are dismissed as mere folklore, while physical evidence seems to conveniently disappear? Could it be that the giants of old didn't just die out, but left something behind? Something that the powers that be don't want us to find? Or worse, something that might still be out there, lurking at the edges of human civilization, waiting for the right moment to reemerge? The 6-fingered handprints, the towering legends, the whispers of suppressed truths, they all suggest one thing. We're not just uncovering history, we're revealing a pattern that has echoed through time. Maybe the giants aren't just a story. Maybe they're a warning. Maybe they never really left us at all. So, what do you think? Are these connections mere coincidences, or are we looking at evidence of a global conspiracy that ties together the Anunnaki, the Anakim, and beyond? One thing's for sure, the past is a lot bigger than they want us to believe. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're ready to keep digging into these hidden truths. Share this video with someone who deserves to know the giants are still watching, and Honestly, I don't care what the people in the comments have to say about all this. They're just terrified of people asking questions and searching for answers because it threatens the narrative they cling to. It's disgusting how many comments I get telling me to stay quiet, as if talking about these things might somehow shake their faith. And remember, when you stare into the mysteries of the past just might be staring back at you.